Welcome everyone to Neighborhoods Up. I'm your host, Crystal Watson. The show, Neighborhoods Up, is part of Mayor Alvey's initiative to focus on resources that will help improve the quality of life for our residents. Mayor Alvey feels it is important that neighbors, churches, and the unified government all work together for the good of everyone residing in Wyandotte County. In this edition of Neighborhoods Up, we will get the opportunity to learn about a new housing development happening right here in KCK and talk with some of our leaders who continue to play a crucial role in shaping our community. That's next on Neighborhoods Up.
This new project is bringing much excitement, specifically to the Douglas Sumner neighborhood. With the new addition underway for this part of Wyandotte, we are going to get different perspectives on what's to come. But first, let's start by having a chat with Beverly Easterwood here at the Beatrice Lee Community Center. She has been very active throughout the Douglas Sumner area. Welcome, Beverly.
Thank you, Crystal.
So Beverly, tell us what exactly is your role at the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Group?
I am currently the president of the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Association, and I've been active for probably 15, 20 years.
You've been there a very long time. So I know that Beatrice Lee, which we are in the Beatrice Lee Community Center now, it's been named after her. She was a longtime president, correct?
Correct. She was not only the longtime president, she was a founder.
Founder.
And we have made her the president emeritus.
So, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How's that going?
She's still active. Next year she'll be 90 years old.
Oh my goodness.
But you can never tell from her activity and her energy.
Well, much love to Miss Beatrice Lee if she's watching. So, how do you, or what have you been doing with the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Group? What's been going on?
Well, we have our annual projects such as the neighborhood cleanup.
Okay.
But recently we've been fortunate enough to be approached by a developer named Kelly Robbie from Prairie Fire Development Group with the idea of building a new 50-unit apartment complex.
So that's the exciting thing that's happening,
That
right?
is the exciting thing that's happening.
And then like several years ago, I want to say 10 years ago, we had a development in the Douglas Sumner area, correct?
Yes, we have some new homes.
Okay.
Not quite 10 years, probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
We had our first 2 new homes in the neighborhood in over 50 years. They were sponsored in conjunction with the grant that we had received from an appropriation that Senator Brownback had put through for us, and we were able to build our first 2 new houses. Since then, we built an additional 5 or 6 houses on the same block, in the 700 block on Oakland, and then we've got another 2 that have been built on Everett, the 700 block on Everett.
So what do you think the new Boulevard Lofts project is going to do for the community?
I think it'll attract more developers to the area because this Boulevard Lofts, I think, will serve as a catalyst for other developers to show that there is potential in this neighborhood.
Right.
I also think that it'll bring new people into the neighborhood that will be active. One of the focuses of Boulevard Lofts is that it has an urban agriculture component, which will allow residents to have their own individual growing plots. They're also going to have common area garden with produce that can be used to not only partake of, but also show people how to prepare.
Wow.
There's going to be a commercial kitchen in the community
And
part.
this will all be in the apartment building?
This will all be in the complex, yeah.
Yeah.
The community's part of the building is going to have a commercial kitchen, and they're looking forward to having chefs come in and show people how to prepare food, as well as teach kids about growing and preparing, and hopefully getting them interested in eating healthy foods.
So this sounds like this project really fits into some of the goals and the mission of the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Association, right?
Yes, it does. It does. It's going to spur community involvement, because they're saying that not only will the kitchen and community facilities be available for the residents of the complex, but also other residents in the community.
So is there any other exciting things that are going to be happening in the Sumner area?
Yes, we're looking forward to building. We're looking forward to another 2 houses to be built in the 700 block on Everett also. And we're really excited, because there is appreciation in the homes that have been built already. The new homes that were built within the last couple of years. One just recently resold it. I think initially sold for $160,000. It just recently resold for $180,000.
Wow.
So there is appreciation taking place in the neighborhood as a result of all this new development.
So we're expecting, and I say this because it kind of fits into the mayor's initiative from our Neighborhoods Up, which is increasing the market values in our neighborhood groups.
Yes.
In our areas,
Yes.
shall I say.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome news. Well, I'm excited for you guys. Congratulations on being the president. I know you're doing a fabulous job, and you're just continuing the work that Ms. Lee has done and others. I know there are many other members that have been there just as long as you have.
There are. As a matter of fact, William Boyce is our vice president from 10th Street Jewelry.
Yes.
James Watson is from Jayhawk Cleaners on 7th Street, who's been in the neighborhood for years and years and years. I mean, he's second generation. He's our assistant treasurer, and Miss Lee is serving as our treasurer now.
Well, we really appreciate you taking time to let our viewers know what's going on in the Douglas Sumner area. We want to thank her again for taking time to talk to us and giving us information and insight on the future of the Douglas Sumner neighborhood. So your countless efforts towards what you're doing is phenomenal. And we appreciate everything, including all of the members of the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Group. You are serving our community and you're improving our community. And for that, we greatly appreciate you. It's very admirable.
Thank you.
Next, let's head over to Community Housing of Wyandotte County, also known as CHWC, where they strive towards creating safe, friendly neighborhoods, affordable housing, and provides homebuyer and financial assistance. CHWC works tirelessly to create and educate new homeowners and continues to generate several thousands of dollars of investments by building and rehabbing homes right here in Kansas City, Kansas. Currently, the new residential development called Boulevard Lofts is under construction with the help of Community Housing of Wyandotte County, CHWC, who is also in partnership with Prairie Fire, a real estate development company for the building of this project. I'm here with Executive Director of CHWC, Brennan Crawford, and co-owner of Prairie Fire Development Company, Kelly Raby. Thanks for joining me, Kelly and Brennan.
Thanks for having us.
So, first of all, I'm loving the sign.
Yes.
Home Matters, because that is exactly what the Mayor's initiative from our Neighborhoods Up is all about. Building beautiful homes and improving the quality of lives for our residents. So, Brennan, tell me a little bit, or tell our viewers a little bit about CHWC first of all.
So, CHWC is a 20-year-old comprehensive community redevelopment corporation. We've been serving neighborhoods in Wyandotte County since 2002 as CHWC, And before that, as Neighborhood Housing Services of Kansas City, Kansas. Little known fact. We have, in that time, built, renovated, or repaired over 500 homes in Kansas City, Kansas. We're also a HUD certified housing counseling agency, and so we kind of do all the things to help people get ready for homeownership. We administer down payment assistance programs, and we also operate community programs like Split Log Farm, which is an urban agriculture education program in partnership with Emmy Pearson Elementary. And we also operate Epic Arts, which provides access to arts for some of the neighborhoods that we serve.
So this project, Boulevard Lofts, you have done in partnership with Prairie Fire.
Yes.
So can you guys tell us how this all began?
Kelly, you want to?
About 3 years ago, when the former mayor had his Healthy Campus Initiative plan out there, we were looking at doing a project in downtown Kansas City, Kansas, because we've done a few projects here, and basically responded to an RFP and did some research on what some other projects are doing around the country, integrating health and wellness into affordable housing, market rate housing in urban areas for redevelopment, and came across the concept of the agricultural neighborhoods. And what that means is we took it a little bit further in one direction, but kind of lightened it up in the other. But what we're trying to do with Boulevard Lofts is create a project that focuses on health and wellness for our residents, but also integrates urban agriculture, working farm with what CHWC has done, a split log, and actually have a demonstration kitchen and have some other amenities in the project that helps people get focused on or educate people about health and wellness that may not otherwise have that opportunity. So we're really excited about the project, and it's been a long ride, and with Mayor Albee and Commissioner Johnson and Bynum helping us get the financing procured for this is very helpful, and we're just excited to be at the starting line to get the construction started on this project.
So the partnership between the two of you, of course, because you're doing housing, it just made a perfect fit, or?
Yeah, I mean, from our standpoint, Prairie Fire Development Group, we're an affordable housing developer. We do mixed income housing, workforce housing, rural urban markets across the Midwest, and just having done a project or two in Kansas City, Kansas, we really wanted to take this project and have a local nonprofit partner that could really help with the services side of the component, the programming, and obviously with discussing with CHWC and Brennan here and the good work they do, it just made a natural fit for us. So.
We've been building homes at Douglas Sumner since 2012.
Yeah.
So we built about 9 new homes there, and have done some minor home repair. And so when we became aware of Kelly's work, we were really excited to partner and continue to grow that housing stock in that neighborhood.
And you know, you can tell that area is slowly changing. You know, I mean, even the landscape of it, you can tell that the work that's already been done has definitely improved, given it almost a facelift. And I imagine that the Boulevard Lofts is going to do just as much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's it's going to be transformative. And I've spent winter months, spring months, summer months walking that area, taking probably 1,000 before pictures, because what I really want to do is show 1,000 after pictures when we're done.
Ooh.
And just by the demolition that hopefully starts this week along Washington Boulevard, just tearing down the vacant blighted buildings is going to be one thing, but imagine a year from now when you have a new building coming out of the ground, signage with community gardens, with a trail, with apple orchards, people walking through there, how cool that's going to be for the neighborhood.
It's going to be this live, work, play environment.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Close to the downtown area. I love it.
Yeah.
So what is different? Because I know, Kelly, you've done other projects and you have some in the works outside of this one, but can you tell us what makes Boulevard Lofts a little different than any of the other projects?
Brennan?
Yeah, well, so Boulevard, well, you talk about your projects and then we'll talk
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of projects we do, particularly in rural areas, there's a need for workforce housing. So we go on and build a house and they get occupied. And we have a little bit of programming around them. But this one, we really wanted to look, we looked at this more as a community development, community initiative project. And again, with CHWC, we've committed part of our cash flow to CHWC for programming, part of the developer fee, and they're a true co-owner partner in the project with us. So what that means is we'll have a nonprofit partner, CHWC, and funding to help program the activities around what we're doing
Okay.
here. Where, again, with the community garden, where I don't just want a community garden that's going to kind of be a community garden, maybe grow weeds. We're going to have like an active farmer on site. Now I'll be there because I'm an avid gardener. We may even have some bees because I also have a bee suit. And,
You got a favorite, you got a favorite hat?
yeah, one with a net on it. But you know, so I look at, you know, from a personal standpoint, it's something that I'm passionate about, and I think you know, a lot of folks don't have the opportunity to get engaged with
Right.
that, particularly in urban environments. And I think with Douglas Sumner, the elementary school nearby, the churches, I think this can be a real catalyst to show how not only affordable housing, but keeping in mind there's market rate units in this as well. So we're very sensitive to the gentrification of the neighborhood and handling needs for existing folks that have been here for decades, but also bringing new people to the neighborhood as well.
Okay.
So.
You bet. You bet.
So, what do you say?
It's a really different project for us in a lot of ways. You know, historically we've done single family for sale. That's always been kind of the core of our
Right.
mission, home ownership.
Now you
but-
got a tall unit.
Well, you know, I think that everyone is coming to recognize that high quality, affordable housing, whether it's for sale or for rent, it's all a really critical piece of the housing spectrum. And so, you know, with the opportunity to partner with a larger developer like Prairie Fire, you know, this is the biggest project, the biggest single project that we've ever been involved in. And so, you know, we saw it as a real opportunity to bring a lot more housing stock to the neighborhood, but also to incorporate some of the stuff that we've had a lot of success with. You know, you've got the elementary school,
Right.
you've got the urban agriculture component, very similar to the way that Split Log Farm developed. And so it just seems like a kind of a perfect fit.
So it's really safe to say what this project really is going to do for the neighborhood. I mean, you're involving a lot of components that, regardless of age,
Right.
right,
Mhm.
people can get engaged, right,
Right.
and appreciate their neighborhood.
Right.
So can you tell us a little bit, just give us a little bit about the amenities of the building?
So in the building, we were again, and I like to cook, so you know, maybe some selfish pieces in here for this project, but we're putting a demonstration kitchen in, so with actually big commercial stoves and a commercial refrigerator. So not only, you know, when in our community garden, we can show people how to grow the food, but we can bring it in the commercial kitchen. And you know, with the food movement going on right now in Kansas City, bring some chefs in that just,
Right.
you know, like with the paper, the article in Star yesterday where people are getting priced out of the crossroads. Well, upcoming chefs don't really care about their space. They want something they can afford and
Right.
do their craft. And I think we can really start to paint the picture for that to show that this project has those types of amenities. We're growing healthy food. We're bringing it to the kitchen. We're helping residents grow that. You know, with an apple orchard, we're going to have a walnut grove. So we're going to have edible landscapes with blackberry, blueberry bushes. So
Right.
it's going to be like just walk around and eat food and get some honey.
And
have
of
some
course,
fun.
the units themselves, 2-bedroom, 1-bedrooms.
Yeah, they're going to be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
So again,
3-bedroom.
we wanted this project to be as inclusive as possible, again, by having market rate and affordable units. No matter your income, no matter if you're a single person or you have a family of 4, we have a place for you to stay in a brand new, energy efficient, safe, fully amenity, integrated with nature and social activity type project. So we're just really excited about it.
Well, we want to thank you guys so much for what you're doing in this community. I can't wait to see what Boulevard Lofts are going to do. I hope you guys are going to be looking forward to it as well. We want to thank them again for making residents here live healthier and happier lives in Kansas City, Kansas. I know that this development is going to bring so many wonderful opportunities to all who reside here. So, the next portion of the show, we are going to head over to the historic Northeast area to talk with Rachel Jefferson, a great woman of the community who has dedicated a lot of her time in improving the lives of everyone here. Rachel Jefferson, who is the Executive Director of the Historic Northeast Midtown Association, which is one of the neighborhood business revitalization groups in KCK.
Hi, Rachel. So happy to have you here on our show.
Thanks so much for having me, Crystal.
So, for our viewers, Rachel Jefferson, I consider her to be one of our young icons in the community. And she is part of the Historic Northeast Midtown Association.
That's correct.
Affectionately known as HMMA. or HNMA.
Yeah, we call it HIMMA.
HNMA, that's
HIMMA,
great. Which is also called a Neighborhood Business Revitalization Group.
Yes.
So how long have you guys been in NBR?
So the NBR was actually founded in 2012 by a group of neighborhood residents and leaders who lived in the area, who are actually neighborhood presidents, and who came together because there was not a neighborhood business revitalization organization representing Northeast KCK.
Okay.
And then I came on board as the executive director in 2015.
All right. So as an NBR, what are some of the things that you all have been doing with that represent the Midtown area as well as the Northeast area?
Absolutely. Well, as an NBR and as any of our other 7 sister NBRs do, we have a scope of services that aligns with the goals of our Board of Commissioners. It's pretty much everything that makes a city run and makes a city healthy. So everything from multimodal transportation to public safety, social services and recreation. How we do that looks a little bit different for HNBR because we all have a different geographic area. So our area being the Northeast and East Midtown areas of Kansas City, Kansas, we really focus a lot on improvements to the built environment, also environmental conservation and stewardship of our natural environment, as well as we are involved in a couple other projects around food access and bringing safe and affordable food to the community. We also run a youth development program called Learn to Earn, which was started about 21 years ago by one of our neighborhood associations, Parkwood Colony, and the United Nation of Islam, and we've been administering that program for the last 5 years, and actually it now runs all the way through the spring semester and summer break.
All right. So within the Northeast area, or close to it anyway, we've got some new apartments going up, right?
Yes.
The Boulevard Lofts.
Yes.
So tell us, how have you all been engaged?
You know, we have just really been in a supportive role, making
Right.
sure that the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Association is at the forefront of the planning for those lofts, so that it's really, with those lofts, we're really actually creating some affordable housing for both residents in the area and also to welcome new people in the area as well, while maintaining the cultural and heritage, the identity of the neighborhood while we do that. Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen the plans.
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
And it looks like, wow, I mean, it's almost a live, work, play kind of how we're kind of creating this.
Right.
I'm sure that you're in agreement that the new housing is needed in the area.
It is absolutely needed. It was one of the main goals, actually underneath the theme of a healthy community within the Northeast Area Master Plan, that really called for more options for safe and affordable housing. And so I'm really glad to see that this project was able to go forward with the help of CHWC, Douglas Sumner, Prairie Fire, the commissioners came together, were able to receive the low-income tax credits that they needed to get it off the ground, and I'm excited to see how this catalyzes future development along that Northeast downtown corridor.
So speaking of future developments, I know that there were some plans with the Northeast Master Plan. And can you tell us a little bit about, I think it's safe to say that this would fit into the overall plan. We had some consultants come in. I know you were part of those meetings. How can all this, how will it all pull together?
So the Northeast Area Master Plan was recently ratified by the Unified Government back in November. The Boulevard Loft project specifically speaks to the theme of a healthy community. There are 3 other themes in the Northeast Area Master Plan: a food hub, an expanded economy, and a rich history. And so I think that the work that's going on with the Boulevard Lofts project actually speaks to both a food hub as well as a healthy community, as well as a rich history, because that particular area along the Washington Boulevard corridor has such a wealth of resources and history. If you go from Struggle Hill Roots Neighborhood Association to Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Association all the way to Turtle Hill, there's a lot there to capture in terms of our heritage and honoring from where we come. And so it's a little bit unique with the Boulevard Lofts because I believe that a percentage of their development fee is actually going to go back to the neighborhood to do community programming. And I expect to see that there will be some things that come out of that, like a community garden or a heritage trail that will also support the residents honoring their culture.
So what other projects do you see coming down the pike? Are there some things that you all are working with at HNMA that kind of like is a domino effect? So you've got Boulevard, we've had strugglers, and now is there kind of this pathway on some other projects you all are working on?
Yeah, so there are two things in particular that come to mind. One is a partnership that we recently formed with the Community Housing of Wyandotte County and Greater Kansas City LISC to hire a community connector to work with those three neighborhoods in particular around vacant land use, equitable development plan around that land and how land should be used in our community, as well as, like I said before, highlighting that neighborhood identity through branding efforts and through sharing the history of those three neighborhoods. So we're very excited about that partnership because it's going to fold in very nicely with the Boulevard Lofts and with the four other themes of the Northeast Area Master Plan. Speaking specifically to the theme of a food hub, H&MA has been focused on the development of a Northeast Grocers Cooperative. So out of the Northeast Area Master Plan, community members, and this was kind of an innovative, creative thing that the consultants did, Camiros out of Chicago, they allotted $5,000 for 3 early action projects each. And so they had the community vote up what they would like to see, because as you and I know, planning efforts, they can extend across years, across decades even.
Right.
And so it's very important to get the ball kind of rolling on something that makes the community feel like momentum's happening in their neighborhoods. And so they selected 3 early action projects. One was to explore the idea of a cooperative grocer in the Northeast area. And so we've been working with Pride, the Black Firefighters Association, the DOT Agency, an offshoot of the KU School of Architecture, K-State Research and Extension, and have received some funding from the Community Capital Fund and Wyandotte Health Foundation, along with the support of a lot of other partners, to look at taking a space at 1726 Quindaro and turning it into a cooperative grocery store.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot going on.
We do quite a bit. Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy with what you guys are doing, and the whole purpose of the show is to just heighten people's awareness about what's going on in the community and who the people are.
Yes.
I mean, a neighborhood can't go up without the people.
Absolutely.
And so we just really greatly appreciate everything that you're doing. If anyone wanted to become a member of H&MA, they can contact you guys where?
Yeah, so they could go to our website, northeastkck.org. They can also follow us on Facebook at NortheastKCK. And I believe our handle is the same on YouTube if they just wanted to see some of the work we've done around the built environment and the park improvements that we have been able to complete in the Northeast area. And I just want to say thank you for coming and interviewing us and talking about what we're doing today, because it is so important that community is aware of these types of activities in the area, and that we start to change the narrative about Northeast KCK. We have a lot of socioeconomic challenges, obviously, but we also have a rich wealth of people and resources in our area that we can leverage together to create more opportunities for future generations. So thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Well, thank you, and we want to thank the mayor as well, because it's because of him that we've created this opportunity to make people aware and better understand what's going on in our community. So again, we thank Rachel for all her countless efforts in giving back, not only in the Northeast area, but throughout KCK. We want to thank all our guests for being on the show, and we look forward to more new and exciting things for Wyandotte County. Now, let's hear a word from Mayor Alvey as we wrap up the show.
Thank you. I'm Mayor David Alvey. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Our Neighborhoods Up. Today I'm standing in front of the site of the latest addition to the development of our downtown area, the Boulevard Lofts. Boulevard Lofts will bring more quality housing and new energy to the Douglas-Sumner neighborhood. It is located here at 8th and Washington. Sumner Academy is just down the street. Douglas-Sumner is rich in history as one of the first neighborhoods settled by proud and prosperous African Americans, and Sumner High School, during the time of segregation, served the black community well and continues to be a source of great pride for graduates all across our nation. Sumner Academy, now open to students from all across Kansas City, Kansas, was named the best high school in the state of Kansas and one of the top schools in the country. So the next several months, take some time to drive down Washington Boulevard and see the progress of the Boulevard Lofts. And take some time as well to dig into the history of Sumner High School and Sumner Academy. Discover why we have so much to be proud of in KCK. Thank you again for joining me in this edition of Our Neighborhoods Up.
Remember, from Our Neighborhoods Up, we will empower, engage, and provide guidance towards building a fiscally resilient future. Thank you for watching Neighborhoods Up. Our next show will feature the new fire station in Piper, and then a final word from Mayor David Alvey. That's all coming up on Neighborhoods Up. See you next time.